In this episode of Cauldron Convos, we're going to give you a rundown on the most haunted houses in America. We're going to be talking about real cases of paranormal activity. Lastly, how to fix it, how to get rid of the hauntings in your house if you do have any. And why are we making this video? Why is it even important to talk about haunted houses in general? My name is Kayla and I'm here with producer Xenu, and we are Cauldron Convos, baby. Hit the smoke! Look at that guy, he's wearing a hat. Make sure to subscribe to this channel if you are new because we post weekly videos here on Cauldron Convos. Also, we post shorts, we post all the fun things. We have Instagrams where we post pictures of us doing weird paranormal things too. So make sure to follow us if you want to be a little spooked this Halloween season, because who doesn't love a good spooky time? Anyway, let's get back to the video on why haunted houses are so crazy and worth talking about, okay? There are 5 levels of human needs. The bottom level is food, water, clothing, shelter, like the basics, right? And then it goes to the next, which is like safety, security, whatever. The whole point being is that in the first level, the most basic level, one of the components is shelter. Imagine your shelter is haunted where you don't feel safe, but what if there is something that is living in your home, but you don't even know it's there because you don't have physical proof that it's there? A poll of 1,000 people conducted by Kinch Home Services found that 83% of respondents have witnessed some paranormal activity inside their home. But 30% of those 83% said that their paranormal encounter in their home is actually what pushed them to believe in ghosts. So prior to, this paranormal encounter that they had allegedly in their home, they didn't really believe in ghosts. They were non-believers on whatever. So some examples of things that happened in these survey respondents' homes include whispers, lights flickering, TVs turning on, toilets flushing, footsteps, misplaced objects. Those are just some of the strange occurrences that can happen that will cause people to be like, yo, Casper's up in this bitch, and it's not friendly, actually. It's Casper with the K. It's Casper's evil cousin, the fat one. Have you seen Casper, like the movie?
No.
Oh, it's like a live action, but like the ghosts are weirdly animated, and Casper's all cute looking, but all the like uncles or whoever he's living with are like fat and disgusting. Although 83% of 1,000 people are saying that they have experienced some paranormal activity in their home at one point in their lives, so many people have experienced something, barely anyone really explores it. They don't get a spirit box. If you experience a flicker of a light in your home, I'm the type of person that's buying. Well, obviously, look at the background in this scenario, but like, I'm just a curious person where I would want to know more about if my toilet is flushing and no one's taking a diarrhea. I want to know what's going on. Like, I want to know if there's a ghost, so I'm buying the spirit box.
I've had a broken toilet that runs by itself.
Well, that's fine. You better go catch him. The toilet? Okay. Wow, you're a tough crowd. Okay, anyway. Long story short, all of this leads to the question, are ghosts real? Do ghosts live in homes among us? Is it normal? Can everyone see the ghosts in our homes? Because I know some people apparently, allegedly, are more, inclined to be able to see a ghost. And what does this say about human psychology if ghosts are really not real? So have you ever experienced a home that was haunted in your lifetime?
Growing up,
supposedly,
yes. Supposedly somebody died in unfortunate circumstances in the home prior to us moving in.
Mm-hmm.
She was an older lady that had turtles.
Oh, turtles.
And her name, I think it was Karen.
Karen.
When I was a kid, very young, I did not like sleeping in a particular room, and that would be my bedroom. And I refused to sleep in that room, and I wanted to sleep in the guest bedroom.
Oh, so it wasn't even like you wanted to sleep with someone or like...
No. I just did not want to sleep in my
that specific
own
room.
bedroom.
Like you were fine sleeping in like a guest room.
I was fine. I just
interesting.
Couldn't sleep in my own room. And my mom says it's because of Miss whatever, Karen, Miss Karen, we'll call her. And she said that I used to tell whatever her and my therapist, I guess, when I was a kid,
About
that
the ghost?
I was being bothered by an old lady in the house. Now, are you going to believe an 8-year-old, 7-year-old? I don't know.
Well, some people say that like people that are younger can see dead people. I see dead people.
Now, I don't
More.
really remember it.
I wonder if you blocked it out or what.
Probably.
Interesting.
The brain's weird.
It
Just
is
as
weird.
weird as ghosts. It could have been all made up in my head because my mom was probably just being like, ooh, there's a ghost in the house, little boy.
And you were little boy. I never experienced a ghost growing up, I don't think. Not that I remember, not that my mom has told me, but not that she's told me anything about me as a kid. I'm like, how was I? Who was I? What did I do? She's like, I don't remember. I'm like, you had one kid, girl. You don't remember anything that I did. You can't give me anything here. Like, it's like people come over and you're like, oh no, don't embarrass me. Don't tell people about my childhood stories. I don't have to worry about that because the bitch doesn't remember anything. It's like never happened. Like she wiped it out. Anyway, moving on. But I did kind of recently experience, I did have a dog that passed away a few years ago. And in a room that at the end of her life, she was kind of spending a lot of the time there, you know, like kind of going away from people. Apparently that's what older dogs do. They don't want to be among people when they go. I don't know. It's like a weird thing. Whatever. Long story short, the lights were kind of flickering in the room that I was in, and I was like, immediately my brain just went, you know, my dog's name. That happened again, and I was like, that's so weird, whatever. And then we got a puppy a year ago, and the puppy just starts barking at nothing, like literally staring like an empty space and like barking, like freaking out. But I am glad that out of all of the ghosts that could be in my home, it is one of my beloved childhood dog. What?
Nothing. God bless America. That was beautiful.
That was. Stop with the squirts.
Some squirts for Dale Wood.
Okay, anyway. So why do we think people are so fascinated with the idea of their house being haunted? For example, there's tours of haunted homes seemingly in every city that you want to
We almost
explore.
went on a tour of a haunted
I know.
factory.
There are TV shows that their whole purpose is to explore haunted homes. And yeah, these suck. And yeah, they have like the little like bar.
Have you seen the video of
rods?
Demi Lovato singing to a ghost to help it pass to the afterlife?
No. No.
Oh shit, Dale.
Was it the ghost of frozen yogurt's past?
Is that like a Demi Lovato joke?
Yeah, you don't remember? She's
No.
the one that went into the frozen yogurt store. And they didn't have the yogurt that I
No.
wanted. And it ruined my entire weekend because they had only like diet. No, the
didn't have
beginning of the frozen. No, they did. And that was too triggering for her because it was like, why is there sugar-free frozen yogurt? Like, it ruined my whole weekend. There's something called diabetes. And people with diabetes can't have sugar. So it's not just like a weight loss thing that's triggered. I'm so sorry you're triggered. Demi, you probably knew this. I feel like a lot of people know this, that there are just some states that actually make you disclose if someone died in the house.
What states aren't?
I don't think New York is one. Like,
What
they're kind
about
of random
Florida?
states.
Or Texas?
But you don't have, I mean, you can ask, apparently. Like, if you ask, they have to tell you the truth. But they don't have to be like, oh, yeah, someone shot their brains out in this room. Because it's
I think it's blow your brains out.
Oh.
Or blew their brains out.
Yeah, whatever. How far back are you going to go with that? Maybe 200 years ago, someone died in the house. It doesn't matter
It's
if
an
they were
old-ass
murdered.
house.
Doesn't matter if they committed, like, you know? So, but there are states where real estate agents don't have to tell you if someone died in your house. And do vice versa.
And they just drive away in their white BMW.
And they're like, sold another one. Cue the watcher. So, Delaware does not need to disclose anything unless asked in a written request. California must disclose any death within the last 3 years. Alaska, South Dakota must disclose murder or suicide within the past year only. So it's like a year and 1 day. Okay, good to go. Kentucky, Georgia, Wisconsin does not need to disclose anything unless directly asked. There's a bunch of other clauses and whatever for different states, but just letting you know, whatever state you are in, if you're buying a house and you don't want to be haunted by creepy old uncle, that died.
Ask early on. Don't get to like offering them something.
Yeah, don't
with,
like get to the inspection. Don't waste $800 like I did. So there's also this weird creepiness of someone watching you in your own home. Obviously, The Watcher, the show that was really big on Netflix, that kind of plays on that thought of, you know, being watched in your own home, because your own home is where you get to like be not seen by people. So the history of haunted houses, like we always say and like to do on this podcast, paranormal, you know, these phenomenon actually go back.
We're paranormal historians.
Yeah, at this
Get the
point,
fuck
we know
outta
all
here.
of it. So the phenomenon of thinking that the house you live in is haunted is not something that is recent. It's kind of a deep-rooted fear, it appears to be, in all of humans, and thinking about the reality of life after death. Even, I think, the White House, which we're not going to get so into in this one, but the White House even has historically ghost stories of different presidents lurking in the halls, and each of the new presidents
Like
kind
Joe
of
Biden.
yeah, like Joe Biden.
They'll
No, like Abraham Lincoln's like apparently always seen in certain rooms in the house, and whatever. The whole point is, since the beginning of America.
imagine
Or
Donald
the White
Trump's
House.
ghost.
It's like orange, like the outline.
It's orange.
Anyway. Is that funny? It's just Cheeto dust.
Ron the sanctimonious blind Jeb.
He's just calling you fucking horrible names for fun. Like you just hear like
Crooked Hillary.
yeah, you're just like, what the hell? According to Owen Davies, which is a paranormal historian, just like us. Like, what qualifies you, Owen Davies? What about me? Do you see all the
It's a
work
book.
we do?
It's always a book.
Oh, maybe I gotta publish a book. Maybe like a 10-page guide on Amazon. Self-published ebook. This paranormal historian noted that hauntings in the British Isles were usually attributed to fairies, but today's hauntings are usually associated with ghostly or supernatural encounters. So I guess fairies were kind of the beginning of the hauntings, which is weird because there's like little things flying around, like bugs. Can you just squash them? Cue all the fairies like haunting my life for the next 10 years. Great.
Yes, Queen.
Yes, Tinkerbell. No, you can't do that. In other cultures around the world, various spirits are said to haunt vacant homes and certain locations. For example, in Middle Eastern countries, the jinn are said to haunt such areas, and we actually talked about the jinn in our Shapeshifter podcast. If you want to watch something about shapeshifters and all the crazy things that people turn into,
And Israel. I'm kidding.
you can click up there somewhere. Homes are natural places for ghosts to haunt, since most people used to die in their homes, with bedrooms being the most common rooms to be haunted because, you know, you could see like an old hag dying. That sounds so bad. Cue to me in 50 years being an old hag. Shit. Anyway, so that's why they would haunt their bedrooms, because it would be like little old Nana with a little bonnet on, taking her last breath. Many houses gain a reputation of being haunted, especially when they are abandoned. This is like a common theme. I feel like a lot of towns have that one abandoned house that everyone's like, oh yeah, it was all like decrepit and like people did heroin there. Owen Davies explains that if people were to fail to occupy a human space, then external forces would move in. So now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this. Examples of haunted houses. What are they? Are they real? Why are they haunted? What's going on? Let's talk about the Myrtles Plantation first, because I feel like plantations always have this negative energy because of the slaves that were forced to work there, disgusting things that the slave owners did to them. I feel like this is just a common theme among plantations, but the Myrtles Plantation specifically is located in St. Francisville, Louisiana, and it was built in 1796. And this plantation is rumored to be haunted by several ghosts, but specifically kind of known for a former slave that lived there named Chloe. Now, legend says Chloe was a slave at the Myrtles who had an affair with the plantation owner, Judge Woodruff. When their relationship ended, Chloe allegedly poisoned the family, which led to their deaths. Some stories claim that Chloe was caught and hung by other slaves as punishment, but I don't think that the other slaves, why would they punish her for that? Like, kill them. But her ghost is said to wander this plantation, and she is often depicted in ghostly photographs. And the Myrtles Plantation offers tours and even is a bread and breakfast that, or did I just say bread? Wait, is it? No, it's a bed. Why did I say bread? A bed and breakfast. So you just eat bread for breakfast. That guests can stay overnight. And apparently some guests just leave in the middle of the night because they can't take whatever they're experiencing. But on the other hand, there are guests that are literally write reviews and they're like, not really haunted, didn't experience anything, but cool tour, cool place, whatever. Now let's talk about the Winchester Mystery House. Now this is located in San Jose, California, and it's a mansion that was once owned by Sarah Winchester. And Sarah Winchester was the widow of the inventor of the Winchester rifle, which was at the time...
That's some bad juju.
Yeah. So this rifle obviously killed many people.
Especially during the Civil War, right?
Exactly. So legend has it that she believed she was haunted by the spirits in their home of those actually killed by her husband's invention, the Winchester rifle. And she constructed the house continuously to apparently confuse and try to appease the spirits that were living there.
Oh, man.
So after her husband and infant daughter died, which she thought was bad luck, she started building and building onto the house more and more to try to kind of escape the ghost instead of just moving out, which is like kind of weird to do, but
yeah,
okay,
that's bizarre.
girl, let's go, Sarah. Like, you're rich. Like, she's so rich that she's just like, no, I'm gonna expand. Nope, I'm gonna expand. But she started this in 1884. She started, with the additions, the renovations, whatever, and she continued them until her death in 1922. The house is said to have maybe about 160 rooms. They don't know for sure because there's so many weird, secret, hidden things in it. It's basically a maze. She consulted with psychics and mediums to get help and advice with creating this maze-like house to trick these ghosts, these spirits, to basically get away from her.
I love that. Make it confusing.
Like your whole life is just dedicated to this.
Imagine how confusing of a house Elon Musk could build.
True. In space. Up to space. The mansion features staircases that apparently lead to nowhere and doors that open into walls. And you can actually go on tours of this mystery house still. So if you've been on the tour of the Winchester Mystery House, please comment down below. Let us know how you felt, if you really think it's haunted, if you think it's bullshit, because I think a lot of these houses do kind of, make money on the history of the house, and maybe there's actually no paranormal activity. That's a low-key
scam.
Low-key scam. The House of Death in New York is a 19th century townhouse that was built in the 1850s, and the famous American author Samuel Clemens, better known as Mark Twain, lived there from 1900 to 1901, so just 1 year. But it is during this time in this house that some of the reported paranormal events are said to have occurred. The house's reputation as the most haunted house in New York was bolstered by a high-profile criminal case that took place there in the 1980s. Joel Steinberg, a lawyer, lived in the townhouse and was convicted of manslaughter in the death of a 6-year-old girl named Lisa Steinberg, whom he had illegally adopted. What? How do you even illegally...
Dude, people are so fucked up.
I know. It's like... And then you name her after you, and then you whatever. This tragic,
be normal.
Yeah, it's like it's not that hard. Like, work on yourself, baby. This tragic event added to the dark history of the house, obviously. And while the House of Death is a private residence and not actually open to the public, so I purposely kind of included this one because it is interesting to me that still people say it's paranormal, even though no one's really making money on the fact that who would want to live there? Who would want to rent out of there?
Yeah, someone who's real fucked up.
Yeah, but I don't think it's drawing people in.
Or an enthusiast, maybe me.
I guess, but I don't think whoever's the landowner or landlord is making more money just because it is the House of Death.
You never know.
So now the Villisca Axe Murder House is in Villisca, Iowa, and it gained fame due to an unsolved murder that took place in 1912 when the family was brutally murdered in their home. The mother, father, 4 children, and 2 friends of the children were found bludgeoned to death with an axe, and the axe, the murder weapon, was still left in the home. No one was ever convicted of these murders. they tried investigating it and they just could never. How sad is that?
That is really sad. Well, that's like an old school thing, like where you can get away with that.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you can't get away with shit.
How do they get away with murder? Paranormal investigators and guests reported hearing unexplained sounds, witnessing apparitions of ghosts, and believe that the house is haunted by the murder victims themselves. In 1994, a couple purchased the home, restored it to how it looked in 1912, and started offering guided tours to explore the house. So this couple was like, there's some entrepreneurs out here, okay?
I love that.
Love that for them. Learn about the murders and experience some paranormal. If you go on this tour, whatever, let me know. Anyway, the Amityville horror house. Somewhat similar to the Villisca axe murder house that we just said, it also has to do with a murder. However, the horror house was built in 1927, is located in Amityville.
Amityville.
No, it's not Amity. It's Amityville in Long Island, New York. In 1975, George and Kathy Lutz moved into the home with their 3 children. They purchased it at a reduced price due to the fact that the previous occupants, the DeFeo family, had experienced a tragic event. Just a year before, in 1974, the DeFeo family were all murdered with a shotgun. All but one person.
The grandma.
Ronald Jr., who was 23.
Oh.
He ended up being the murderer.
There was...
What a twist!
I think...
Did I scare you?
No, I knew.
The grandma was the murderer.
No. He didn't kill the grandma, and he regretted not killing the grandma like every day in prison.
What a psycho!
Yeah. Well,
why did he kill the grandma? Because she was old?
I don't know. That's called freaking mental illness, bro.
Yeah, that's really... So, but anyway, we're going to keep going on. The Lutz family claimed to have experienced a series of terrifying and supernatural events during their short stay in the house. These events included unexplained cold spots, strange odors, levitating objects, and sightings of demonic figures. George Lutz reported waking up at 3:15 a.m., the same time the DeFeo murders occurred on several consecutive nights. So he would wake up, look at the clock, bam, 3:15, baby. So what are the common themes of a haunted house now that we talked about all of these examples of haunted houses? Obviously, there are clearly so many more, considering 83% of the respondents said that their houses were probably haunted. Most of the houses, hundreds, how many houses are there in America? Like 100 million or something? A lot of these houses are probably haunted.
Yeah. I would say statistically.
At least half of them.
No.
I mean, people die in their house.
Not half.
I mean, if 83% say they felt some paranormal activity, okay, let's write off 33% for being either
Now, do you know what's spooky? There's a house that I know of where a woman was burned alive, died in a house fire. A developer bought it. They just built it up and they sold it.
Let's go through the common themes of the haunted houses. Obviously, we've been talking about tragic histories there. So a dark and tragic history, think murder, suicide, untimely deaths, all those crazy things. Those are usually a common theme in a haunted house.
Yeah, definitely.
In addition to unexplained noises, strange and unexplained noises are a hallmark of haunted houses. These can include footsteps, whispers, moans, cries, and banging sounds, all of which contribute to an eerie and unsettling atmosphere. Apparitions, ghostly apparitions, or shadowy figures are frequently seen in haunted house stories. These spectral entities may appear suddenly and disappear just as quickly, often leaving witnesses in a state of shock.
Oh, man. I don't know.
Bye. Hello. Bye. Imagine. Anyway.
Like
cursed objects are sometimes like a big part of this. Like I think you see an Annabelle, the doll. There's some other cursed objects, probably books and
Robert the doll. You listen to the whole doll podcast.
I know, no, a lot of dolls. Yeah, exactly. But haunted houses may contain cursed objects or relics that are the things that bring misfortune to anyone who possesses them, and removing or disturbing these objects can trigger the paranormal activity.
It's only a matter of time till one of those weird guys dies and his sex doll becomes haunted. The ones with like the opposable mouths and stuff.
Oh, jeez.
It starts talking. And it's got like triple D boobs. You know the ones I'm talking about? The jugs.
It's so haunted, but she's so hot.
Just like the boobs just start.
The police officer.
I'm sure you can get a custom one that lactates. It just starts like violently lactating.
Like green ooze. Well, actually, ectoplasm is a supernatural substance often associated with ghosts and paranormal events. It is sometimes depicted as viscous, otherworldly material that manifests during hauntings. Is this kind of what the Ghostbusters like? Green,
yes.
Whatever. Anyway, and isolation. Haunted houses are often isolated or located in remote areas, adding to the sense of isolation and vulnerability experienced by those who enter them. When I think of this, I think of the that Connecticut haunting. What is it called? The Haunting? The Conjuring or something? It's like the old farmhouse in the middle of nowhere in Connecticut or whatever. Time distortion is also a common theme in haunted homes. Some haunted houses exhibit a time distortion or time loop where events from the past replay themselves, creating a sense of temporal disorientation.
Rewind.
Remix. It's the remix. It's the remix. Casper.
I just don't know why somebody would live in the Amityville horror house. People still live in it. It's like a thing.
They're entrepreneurs. Don't judge them. Just kidding. I don't know.
I would run tours.
Yeah. Let's go, baby. Anyway, the curse or hex. Haunted houses may be under a curse or a hex that perpetuates the haunting. Breaking the curse is often a central theme in resolving the paranormal activity. There are things like deterioration and decay. That's a common thing in haunted houses. You don't go to like a newly built like architectural digest house
unless it's on like an Indian burial ground.
But even that, I feel like people don't really like, because I don't think they're looking for it.
Like,
too.
how funny would it be if Kim Kardashian's goofy ass house was haunted? Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like it's just sitting in like her earth-toned living room that's empty.
House.
Mystery and secrets. Many haunted houses have hidden rooms, secret passages. I feel like you always see the library and the little book, and then it did the thing that revolves, and you're in another room, and ooh. Yeah. Or concealed histories that characters must uncover to understand the nature of the haunting. That's also a common theme in like stories, is this discovering what really happened to the people that lived here and understanding and fixing whatever they wanted to fix, and then the haunting's over and everyone can live their life.
Sometimes you just need to sing it a song, Demi.
And go to a cruise in Turks and Caicos, and then it's all good again.
Just sing it a song. How stupid. Oh my god, I can't believe she did that.
Oh, Demi. I was like, who? The frozen yogurt machine's just...
It's a haunted, yeah.
Like, you know, Kim Kardashian has a froyo machine in her home.
I bet it's always broken.
I'm sure Demi Lovato now has one, considering it ruined her fucking weekend when she went to the froyo store. How do you tell if your house is haunted? If you've been questioning it, thinking about it, I'll tell you. I'll tell you some of the symptoms of a haunted house.
Tell me, Doc.
Unexplained phenomena. Take note of any unexplained phenomena that occur regularly or seem out of the ordinary. This might include strange sounds, footsteps, voices, weird knockings, tappings, but be cautious because it might just be like plumbing or like your creepy neighbor next door that's always looking and taking your mail and looking through it. That happens to all of us, unfortunately, at one point in your life. Objects moving on their own, levitating. If that shit happens, either go to the doctor and get your brain checked or get the hell out of there.
Well,
man. Things are levitating.
You should get the hell out of there and then get your brain checked.
If lights are flickering and it's not like a hurricane that came through, if it was just like...
You should get out of there and get your brain checked.
Or pay your electric bill, baby. Or if you feel any cold spots and, you know, there's no draft, there's no hole in the wall. What else could be cold? A witch's teat. If there's no witch's teat around. Sudden changes in temperature like this cold spot that we said. But there could be noticeable and unexplained temperature fluctuations in certain areas of your home. Apparitions or shadows like we said before. Electrical disturbances like the TV, radio channels switching back and forth, the TV turning on and off. Static maybe without explanation. Or just other electronic devices malfunctioning. And it's like just not because Apple keeps changing their chargers. It's like another reason. Strange smells, foul odors could be associated with paranormal activity. Feelings of being watched or unease. Pay attention to your own emotional and psychological reactions. If you feel like you're often being watched, go to the police. Pet behavior. Now, this is one that's interesting because I was just talking about my dog. Watch how your pets react in your home because animals are often sensitive to subtle changes and may react to phenomena that are not easily perceptible to humans.
I love dogs.
So that's basically it for now. If you enjoy this video, subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment down below what you want to see next, and Happy spooky season, baby. We'll be back next week for another episode here in Cauldron Convos. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.